One trait of a good leader is that when you speak, people listen. But it becomes alarming when you speak and people don't want to listen. So of late, the youth, especially graduates from various campuses in Kenya, have been rejecting the message sent by the President of the Republic of Kenya, that is Dr. William Samoei Ruto. Multimedia University Nairobi did that, and I also think KU did the same thing during their graduation ceremony. Whenever they say that receive greetings from the president, students make noise rejecting this speech or the message sent to them by the president. This could be catapulted by several things or several factors that are happening that are in line with the Gen Z or the youth that are graduating. We know a few months ago, the youth took it to the streets when the finance bill was coming up because they saw it as an oppression to this nation. When the new funding model came up, they also took it to the street. There was a lot of mobilization. Now, as much as we are letting it look like a small thing, watu kata kusikiza message ya president, to me it is a big thing that should concern the president. Why is it that young people don't want to listen to what you have to tell them? And today I want to share with you some reasons why I personally think young people are rejecting the message of President William Ruto whenever it's being sent to them via school gatherings, either by graduation or any other gathering. Because also where I am, whenever someone says that the president is going to speak, mtu anakuambia it's better nende ni watch ngoma or nende watch movie rather than listening to that man. And what could be leading young people to speak such words to the president? Yet in 2022, it was the same young people who greatly supported the election of William Samoei Ruto, saying that it is a time for a young person to rule. But right now, tides have changed. This is what I want to share with you today. My name is Movali Derek. Welcome to the Political Spotlight. I want to appreciate each one of you who has taken time to subscribe to this channel. That goes a long way for me. For those who have not yet subscribed to this channel, kindly take a minute of your time, hit the subscribe button so that YouTube can automatically recommend to you the next time I upload any video that is in line to this content that you are watching currently. Also, I want to appreciate those of you who leave me comments. It keeps the conversation going and also help me understand your view of points. As I usually say, politics is a two-way thing. I see my view, you see your view, we share ideas, we get to know how or what line of thinking we all are sharing. Now, without much ado, let's take a look into this conversation. So, during the Multimedia University graduation, the president's message was to be read, but the students made some noise. And to me, there are three factors that may be making young people to reject the message of the president. Number one, the state of the economy of this nation. Now, Ndindi Nyoro one day said that it is not in his capacity to tell Kenyans that the economy is working, but it is in the capacity of Kenyans to tell him that the economy is working. The government has been busy telling Kenyans that the economy is working, relating our economy to the dollar, which is the most powerful currency in the world, speaking about GDP and all that things. But we know the economy is not working. We know the economy is a mess. Life is really hard. To afford 3 or even 2 meals a day is really hard. Now, especially when you come to someone who is in campus, it's really hard for someone to have even a meal a day because there is no circulation of money. Sasa ukipita wengi wanakuambia tujue festive season itakaa, hakuna do. And this is because the government has refused to release money to circulate among Kenyans. And this has made the economy become really tough so that a normal person cannot afford a daily bread. And this affects so many people. And if you check a look, most people in campus come from humble backgrounds. Wako kampondi warudi home wa change story ya life back at home. So when life is really hard for them in campus, some quit studies, some can't even concentrate in class because the economy has not created a substantial environment for them to concentrate on their education. So the first thing that could be making young people reject the message of the president, despite certain prices of food going down, is because the state of economy is not yet conducive for a normal Kenyan to enjoy his life or his stay in this nation. The next two reasons affect young people at a greater part. The second thing is poor education system. And we speak of education system, there are three things inside the education system. We have the new funding model that was introduced, then we have the CBC model of teaching, and then we have help disbursement, and then number 4, we have the UASU issue. Let's begin with the new funding model. Now, Mimi nimesomea the old funding model whereby you apply for help, then you are allocated money. You applied maximum of 60,000, so they allocate you in a relation to your father's and your mother's payslip. So you can be allocated 40,000, 50,000, and also you can be allocated 60,000 if you are a total orphan. Then you could have room also to appeal that pesa menipea ni kidogo. Let's say you have been allocated 40,000 and you see it's little, you can go and appeal, then they reallocate you something like 50,000. And this was really affordable for any student in campus, because this is how it used to work. If I've been allocated 40,000, I'll receive 20,000 per semester. 16,000 is for my upkeep, 4,000 goes to my fee. Back then, we could pay fees 20,000 per semester for a course, right? So if wananilipia 4,000, niko na 16,000 kwa mfuko upkeep. So a good student will tell the father, or the father and the mother will tell the child that we lipa fee, sisi tutafutia rent na do ya food. Or also someone angeishi hostel, mzazi alipe 6k the entire semester, mtaweka hostel, so itakuwa tu ni kutuma pesa ya food. But now when things went by, they brought the new funding model. The new funding model, number one, a parent has to pay. They have brought the issue of bands, band 1 to band 5. And we all know with the rate of corruption, I've interacted with so many first year students in Pwani University and second years, and someone tells his or her story, and then instead of this person even being found in band 2 or band 3 or band 1, msa ako band 5. I know of an orphan mwenye amekuwa band 5. This is going to be really hard for this student to access any education, because number one, the fee has been high, anafaa lipe nearly 100,000. Number two, band yenye amekwa wanamlipia pesa kidogo na ameallocatiwa pesa kidogo. Now this has made it really painful for people or young people, because you are making education really hard for us to access. And we used to ask this question as young people, because I'm going to speak on this video as a young person in campus who has also been affected by this. Where was the problem in the old funding model that the government could not correct for it to bring a new funding model that is not accommodative? This funding model was not received with open arms. This was to call for a public participation. If this thing is rejected, then do away with it. But it has been forced to be implemented. They called student leaders. One person cannot speak on behalf of 1,000 people. Involve 1,000 students from each university. Let them share their views. So the new funding model has affected the state of education in universities. The second thing is help disbursement. They have brought the new funding model. Kuna wase hadi yo help hawajapata till sahi. Their portal reads allocated, but that money has never come. Some read disbursement in progress, but yoda haijaifika. So a student is relying on help for his survival or her survival in school. But the government has really made it hard for students to access the help loan. If a student cannot access the help loan, it will be this today either a drop out, some will go do things, other nasty things to make money, to just earn a living, to make life comfortable in school, to pay fees, to pay rent, to get dressed, to get food. So this is something that pains young people so much, that you promised to make life affordable for us, but now you have made the most crucial and important thing so hard to access, which is education. So it's an entire semester we are about to go home. No one has received the help loan, especially those in the new funding model. They have not received that amount that used to be allocated. They do exams, they can't receive their results. So it is also something that is eating up their minds. Will I graduate or not? Because I don't know. I have never received results. The government has never sent its share of the new funding model. My parents have not been able to pay the amount they needed to pay. And to me, that is something that the government could still avoid. Kudisheni vitu vile zilikuwa tulipange fia 20,000. If ya 100,000 serikali endelee kulipa kama ni ukweli ilikuwa inalipa, then if ya 20,000 mtoto ajue vile atalipa na wazazi wake, rather than making a student pay 100,000 and yet the parents cannot pay that 100,000. The third thing is the CBC. This is the other thing we don't want to listen to the message of the president. CBC is a failure. We all know that. If you compare the CBC of China, Russia, if you compare the CBC of US, you compare the CBC of Britain, it's not same to the CBC being taught in this country. Whereby mnaambia tu yao peleke mayai shule or kuku, then they are being taught to cook. These are basic things that are taught back at home. So CBC is a curriculum that really needs to be revised before being re-implemented into the education system of this nation. And lastly, on the education factor is the issue with UASO. Lecturers have been on a strike for nearly 1 month. Then lecturers are back right now, giving us only 2 weeks to learn, trying to compress an entire 1 month into a 2 weeks almanac. That does not sit well with young people. Like, this was something simple. Pay the lecturers to the class to some. But you people dragged it along until it reached a point we were giving up and saying, sawa, acha twende home. Then at that point is when the government is coming in to give lecturers half that salary with a promise they'll give the other lecturer. So what the lecturers need is saying, kujeni shule for 2 weeks to the home year duration to MPESA then to an exam. This is not sitting well with young people, and someone should tell the president that he should sit down and reanalyze whatever is happening in the education system. Education is the key to success. So many families in Kenya depend on education to change their story. So if education is really hard, how are these families going to tell their stories? The third thing is the unkept promises by this government. The promise of employment will create job, imekuwa tutatenga, tutapanga, tumetenga, tumepanga, tutafanya, tumefanya. So it is like you lied to us. You said you'll make jobs. And one day, Rigathi Gachagua, before he was impeached, he said in a graduation ceremony that literally hakuna kazi. He was honest with young people. Hakuna job. There are so many graduates in this nation who are not employed. You came with the promises you'll create employment, but you have not created employment. Rather, you have complicated the education system. You have made the economy really hard. And also, whatever young people saw as a way of making a living for themselves, which is TikTok and online content creation, where they have become influencers for brands, you have now started bringing in some taxes, some things to hold it back. So una make life literally hard on each and every angle of a young person. This will never sit well with any young person in this country. And according to me, these are the three main reasons as to why young people in this nation are not willing to listen to the message sent to them by the president of Kenya. If the president wants to be accepted by these young people, he should sit down and reevaluate things that are affecting young people in this nation and check if these things are in line or need to be corrected or amended. Because if they're not corrected, then it's going to be really hard for him to be received in this country by the young people. And also it's going to be hard for him come 2027. What's your view? What do you think young people are rejecting to listen to the message sent to them by the president of Kenya, that is Dr. William Samoei Ruto? Let's share our views in the comment section. My name has been Mwavali Derrick. Thank you very much for your time. It has said so much until the end of this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. See you again on my next video.